Good evening, and welcome to the 15th Annual Champions of Hope. I'm Jeff O'Neill, President and CEO of Greater Cincinnati Behavioral Health Services. After having to cancel this event last year, we were hopeful that this year would be different, and we would be able to meet in person. When that turned out not to be possible, the decision was made to go ahead and proceed with a virtual event, which is what you've all tuned in to see tonight, and we are grateful to each of you. This past year has proposed many challenges to our staff and the people we serve, as they've had to navigate through unprecedented and uncharted waters. When the pandemic first started, I know many staff were genuinely concerned about their clients, as many didn't have phones or access to computers or technology, and some didn't even have a place to live. However, they remained unwavering in their commitment to the people whose lives they touch every day, who depend on them to navigate this sometimes difficult world we live in, and to advocate for them when no one else will. So I recently celebrated my 30-year anniversary at Greater Cincinnati Behavioral Health Services. And no, I didn't start as the CEO or even as a manager. My first position was as a second and third shift residential group home worker. That experience working side by side with our patients and their family members taught me so much, especially about how severe and persistent mental illness and addiction can devastate lives. In fact, I still remember Brian, who had been first in his class in school and captain of his baseball team. He began having his first break with mental illness early on in high school. His parents, who were understandably devastated and feeling hopeless, asked me, "We just don't know what happened to our son. Do you?" But with the support of his family and Greater Cincinnati Behavioral Health Services, Brian was able to get the treatment he needed. He was able to finish school and even found a job. And that is when I became hooked on GCB and our very important mission in the community. So when staff and supervisors started to reach out at the start of the pandemic, I understood exactly what they felt. Their concerns weren't for themselves. No one was asking, "What about me?" It was about the people who come to us for help. How is this going to affect them? How are we even going to be able to get in touch with some of them? What about getting them their medications? What about their medical appointments? And basic needs such as food. I've always known that the people who work at Greater Cincinnati Behavioral Health Services were a special group. They are here because they want to be here. They care. They want to make the world a better place and see people get the help they need and deserve. They believe that everyone has the right to live a life of dignity, to be productive and contribute something to society. But this pandemic showed me that they are more than I could ever have dreamed possible. They didn't panic or worry about themselves. They stepped up to the plate and worked together to find real solutions for the real problems we were facing. And on behalf of our entire organization and board of directors, we couldn't be more proud, and we thank each of them. So tonight, we celebrate all of their amazing work. We also salute this year's honoree, Clermont County Commissioner David Painter. You will surely hear some remarkable words from him, and we will introduce you to a special young lady as well. She is a resident in our recovery homes, and I'm certain her story will inspire you. So thank you for joining us. Now I invite you to sit back and enjoy tonight's first, and hopefully only, virtual Champions of Hope.
Welcome to tonight's 15th Annual Champions of Hope event. Good evening. My name is Kelly Smith-Trondle, and I'm the Director of our Employment and Recovery Services. I've been with GCB for 20 years, and I've been volunteering at Champions of Hope for the last 15. So apparently that makes me qualified to be your host tonight. So tonight we're going to hear from County Commissioner David Painter, who's our Champions of Hope honoree. We're also going to be auctioning several items, one of which is our Father's Day package, which includes golf, beer, a tour of Rheingeist Brewery for 10 people. What dad doesn't want that? We're also going to be auctioning our Marco Island condo, which is a 1-week stay in a 3-bedroom oceanfront condo on Marco Island. For raffles, we have a private tour for 12 people of St. Peter and Chains Cathedral that's hosted by Father Jan Schmidt. This cathedral has been around for 175 years. The evening also includes a cocktail party, a multi-course dinner that's going to be served by author and chef Giovanna Trimpe. Sounds like fun. We're also going to be raffling a bottle of old Rip Van Winkle. And then don't forget, there's the wine wall. So for $10, you get a bottle of equal or greater value. I'd like to introduce now Alicia Fine. She's our Vice President of Clermont County Behavioral Health Services.
Thank you, Kelly. Good evening. It's my pleasure to introduce to you our 2021 Champion of Hope honoree, Clermont County Commissioner David Painter. After a successful business career, Commissioner Painter was drawn to public service to serve people of his county and to make a difference. He has been working in public service for many years and is currently serving his second term as County Commissioner. As Commissioner, he quickly learned and worked alongside the community systems serving people struggling with mental health and substance use to become a passionate advocate. His presence throughout the county and statewide to support the dialogue around the benefits of treatment instead of incarceration and the need for safe, supportive, recovery-oriented housing is that of a true champion of this cause. In appreciation of his steadfast support to GCB, our many services, and our mission to improve the lives of those we serve, we recognize him tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, again, it's my pleasure to introduce to you the 2021 Champion of Hope honoree, Clermont County Commissioner David Painter.
Thank you so much for choosing me to receive the Champions of Hope Award this evening. I'm humbled by your generosity and touched that I would be held in such high esteem. An award such as this is not accomplished by one individual. I would like to thank all of the citizens of Clermont County who courageously stepped up in the fight against substance abuse disorder. I would like to especially thank Karen Shira, who quickly educated me upon becoming a commissioner and guided me through the learning curve whereby I could make a difference. Thanks to Mary Wolf for letting me join the Drug-Free Coalition and her team's tireless efforts to ensure that substance abuse disorder is curbed and eliminated in the next generation of young people. Thanks also to Dr. Leanne Watson and Deputy Sheriff Jeff Sellers for their commitment to the Opiate Task Force. Their efforts have brought law enforcement, mental health professionals, life coaches, clergy, and so many others to a common mission to reduce the number of opiate deaths in Clermont County. Thank you to Commissioners Edwin Humphrey, Claire Corcoran, and Bonnie Batchelor for their continued commitment to ensure that substance abuse battle in our county continues to be properly resourced. Thanks to Judge Jim Shriver for his commitment to the family court. His efforts to restore families and reunite parents impacted by substance abuse with their children has been extraordinary. To all of the Clermont County DJFS team that stepped up to assist families, you rock. These efforts that I previously described, coupled with the unwavering commitment of first responders, has given new life to those who never would have had the chance to recover from the disease of substance abuse disorder. My wife and I started this journey some 15 years ago when a young man that we love looked us in the eye after coming home from college and said, "Mom, Dad, I'm addicted to opiates and I need help." My previous experience in the rock and roll world, volunteering at recovery centers, reminded me just how serious this disease was and how long a battle he was in for. Carl and I turned to the professional world for help, and he ended up in Falmouth, Kentucky for 4 days. The rest of his journey included rehab, jail, prison, and near death. My son was 22 years old. As a family, we were ashamed and afraid and disappointed, but life is not without challenges. Our married life became entangled with the disease of addiction, and we fell head first into codependency. He is our son. Carl and I were unable to part with love, but through encouragement and education, we finally removed our chains of codependency and arrived at a place where we could help. Although my son continues to struggle, he is still with us and recently celebrated his 35th birthday. The need to help moved me to look at a political position in my county where I could help restore individuals and families that were being impacted due to substance abuse disorders. I needed to ensure that my inability to help a family member was never experienced by another family. I was consumed by the spiritual conversation that ran over and over in my mind. That spirit has led me to stand here before you this evening to be honored with this award. I want you to know that all the praise and glory for any accomplishment that might be accredited to me here this evening clearly goes to God as the one who guides and directs my path. As just one of 3 county commissioners, I'm afforded a very unique opportunity to run beside a team of highly motivated team members. I want to state right up front that my success is only possible due to the hard work of passionate individual team members dedicated to redefining the term addiction or addict into what it really is, substance use disorder. Together, this team has clarified the language and definitions of this disease, knowing that our intelligence is defined by how well we understand our language. Substance use disorder is now understood by all in our county. The team opened up the first community alternative sentencing center in Ohio. This program allows offenders impacted by the court system to opt in for treatment at the center instead of serving time in a traditional jail setting. I would be remiss if I didn't mention Alicia Fine and Jeff O'Neill at the Greater Cincinnati Behavioral Health for their vision of the cask and recovery housing in Clermont County. In addition, the judges in our county stepped into the challenge and became advocates for treatment when the crime was a product of substance abuse. The CAS program later gained state, national, and international fame for being a cutting-edge approach to fighting this disease. People in Spain know that Clermont County, Ohio has a CAS center. Our team recognized that in order for people to recover, they must develop healthy lifestyles. The Aspire program helps inmates impacted by substance abuse leave our CAS program employed and connected to support. Now I have to mention Greater Cincinnati Behavioral Health Services again as a committed teaming partner here in Clermont County. GCBHS is and continues to be a true investor in the fight against substance abuse disorder in Clermont County. Them, along with Karen Shira, they're the dream makers of our team. When an idea for help is so outlandish that you wonder if it can be done, in steps those dream makers. When recovery housing in our county was a future hope, the dream makers of our team made it happen. Today, Clermont County has both a male recovery house and a female recovery house in operation. It provides a place for those who have chosen a drug-free commitment to continue their recovery without returning to those familiar family geographic triggers that can result in relapse. Now throw in the quick response team, and we have a dedicated team of professionals knocking on your door if your lifestyle has indicated that you need help. Knocking on your door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. That's right. In a very short time, the team here in Clermont County has literally changed the landscape of substance abuse treatment, outreach, and support. In our county, if you suffer from substance use disorder, you don't have to ask for help. We have a team that will knock on your door and give it to you. Christy Mudd on that QRT team holds a special place in my heart that now I share with many others she has helped through this program. Tonight, I accept this award on behalf of the citizens and the team members of Clermont County. To say that I am touched by your generosity would be an understatement. I remember when I got into this fight to save my son from a fate that awaited him due to substance use disorder. A citizen approached me at a local restaurant, complaining of the use of Narcan, although the man was not aware of the personal struggle that my family was going through. He said to me, "David, stop spending our tax money on those addicts by reviving them with Narcan. Just give them another shot and let them die. We can't keep spending money on people that make poor choices and don't want to quit." Although I can't tell you why, that same higher power that pulls those impacted by substance use disorder from their bottom led me to say to him, "I'm going to keep spending your money to save everyone I can, hoping that someday, when I cross those gates in heaven, God will say to me that one of those I saved is why He sent me to do His will." This award will be proudly displayed in my office at the County Administration Building. I thank you so much for your attendance and patience while I spoke to you this evening. I'm in love with each and every one of you. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Commissioner Painter. We're going to take a break in a minute, and when we come back, we're going to hear from a young woman who's living at one of our recovery houses in Clermont County and her truly inspiring story. In the meantime, don't forget about our auction items. We've got purses, we've got overnight stays, we've got pet packages, anything you could ask for. We got the raffles, the Pappy Bottle, and the tour of St. Peter in Chains Cathedral for $12. That includes a multi-course dinner. And then there's the wine wall, if there's any left. So grab a drink, take a break, and we'll see you in a minute. Welcome back to the 15th Annual Champions of Hope. I'm your host, Kelly Smith-Trondle. We're going to close out tonight's presentation with a story of a young woman who is one of our recovery house residents in Clermont County. Her story of addiction and how she found her way out took courage and the support of many people. It is truly inspiring. This is The Road to Hope, Abby's story.
Greater Cincinnati Behavioral Health Services opened up its first female recovery home in August of 2019. Since then, it's been home to 27 women looking for a safe space to live.
Greater Cincinnati Behavioral Health Services has a long history of operating various types of residential programs. And so when Clermont County Mental Health and Recovery Services Board approached us in pursuing recovery housing in Clermont County, we were excited by that opportunity. Through those discussions, we successfully opened our Merwin House, our recovery house for men, located in Pierce Township. Shortly thereafter, we started the journey to open our East Fork River House, our home for our women, and we've been running that house for a year and a half.
One of those women is Abby. Abby has been at the home since June of 2020. She recently celebrated her 1-year anniversary in sobriety, but the road to get to this point took a lot of courage and support. And in the beginning, she didn't realize she had a problem.
Honestly, it started out as fun, and it just ended up to be pure hell. I was waking up in the middle of the night and having bottles stashed throughout the house, in my kids' bedrooms, just anywhere that I could hide it from my husband and family. And I'd have to get up in the middle of the night and go and take a few swigs and take a couple pills to get through the night, because I would start shaking and would be sick. And there would be some times where, like, I'd get up in the morning and I'd take a shot and it'd instantly make me vomit. But the insanity of everything is I kept taking another drink until I could get it down, and it would stay down. So I would feel better and feel halfway normal.
Abby tried to quit on her own several times, but the need to dull her pain was too strong. She felt she couldn't go on.
At the end, it was rough. I contemplated suicide on a couple different occasions, but one, I had made it up in my mind I was going to. I thought if I did it, it would spare my kids the pain and heartache, and I just kind of thought that was the only way out. But the thing that kept me from not doing it was my best friend committed suicide, and I was so mad at him and so angry and hurt that I didn't want that hurt and anger to be left on my kids.
Abby's health continued to deteriorate. She was hospitalized multiple times, but she just couldn't stop.
One of my big blackouts that really scared me was I woke up and I don't remember the Life Squad ride to the hospital. I have like bits and pieces of the ride, and I woke up in the hospital bed and was kind of like, where am I? What happened? I had no clue how I ended up in the hospital, how I got there. I just kind of woke up and everything started to hit me again, like, you need help. You can't live like this. My mom was there to pick me up the next day. She said she had went to my house and packed me clothes and said, you're going to rehab. You're homeless. You're not allowed home. And it was a sigh of relief. It was kind of one of those, like, thank you, God moments. Like, this is what I've been waiting for. This is what I need, and this is what I want. I didn't even have it in me and didn't even consider arguing with her and saying it will be different this time. I have it under control. I can do it, because I knew I didn't. I was far from having it under control. It had control of me completely.
Abby spent over 2 months getting clean and learning how to stay clean. When she was ready to leave treatment, her mother called Greater Cincinnati Behavioral Health Services. GCBHS had a spot for Abby in their new women's recovery home. She was assigned a peer coach who picked her up and brought her directly to her new home.
This house has been a great opportunity for me. It has taught me to get my independence back again, which I lost during my active addiction. And it's given me the chance to actually search and find myself again and realize that I am valuable and I am worth more than what my addiction told me I was. You know, I was completely unemployable, and since coming into the house, I was able to get a job, and that alone really brought my confidence back, because I felt like I had a purpose and like a part of life again.
Chris Miles is the peer project coordinator on the substance use disorder outreach team at Greater Cincinnati Behavioral Health Services. She works with the women at the recovery house.
This house is a safe place for women to live in recovery. They are here to learn how to live life together in a safe, clean, and sober environment. They go to meetings together, they have dinners together, they learn how to just live life again. They support each other with getting their kids back, with getting jobs. They laugh and they watch movies together, and they're able to just learn how to live again. You know, when they come here, sometimes they, feel very lost and they feel alone. A lot of times when you enter recovery, you have burned so many relationships, and so when you come here, you're able to start relationships with people that really understand you and understand what you're going through. And we are very blessed to have this house, because we're able to watch these women grow and learn how to live again and just enjoy their life. And sometimes they just have to cry together, but they're always there supporting each other. And that's what this house is for. It's to learn to live in recovery.
To celebrate Abby's 1 year of recovery, her housemates and the peer recovery team in Clermont County celebrated with a cookout and bonfire.
A year ago, I seen my life ending in the grave. And on the other side of recovery, I couldn't imagine being in the grave yet. My life's just beginning. And there's so much that I look forward to doing, and thinking about going back to school, and I feel like right now it's just starting.
And what does the future hold for Abby?
For me, the future is going and getting my certificate to do peer support and be able to help people like they've helped me along this process. Continue to build a relationship with my kids and just be a sober and present parent that I wasn't for a little while. I want to be able to give people hope.
Wow. Thank you, Abby. Abby is just one of thousands of people who come to GCB for help, and she knows well how important hope is to their recovery process. Your support of this event and throughout the year makes the work we do possible, so thank you. And thanks to each of you for being our champions of hope. I wish you a pleasant rest of the evening, and I hope we can all meet in person next year for the 16th Annual Champions of Hope. Take care and good night.
Well, that's a wrap. Thanks for coming to our 15th Annual Champions of Hope event. Remember that our auction and raffle items are going to be open until 9 o'clock tonight, and if you win something, congratulations. Our Champions of Hope event manager, Tiffany Payne-Bush, will contact you next week to let you know where and how to claim your prizes. Hopefully, this is our one and only virtual event, and we'll see you in person next year. Have a great evening. I'm Kelly Smith-Rondell. Well, that's a wrap.